Hello and welcome to the show. A couple of weeks ago, I was invited out to Cologne by Ford, not just to check out their stand at Gamescom, but to have a go with the new Ranger Raptor, which I was very excited to do. I have never done any off-road driving. I've never even driven a vehicle even remotely similar to this, so naturally, I was very keen to give the vehicle a try. The first thing, though, we did was check out Gamescom. We had a go on their fancy, they call it a 4D driving rig. Basically, it's a sim rig that's on massive hydraulic rams that throw you about quite a lot while you're trying to drive a car. It's an interesting experience, to say the least. It looks absolutely bonkers from this sort of fixed filming point. When you're driving, it's a weird experience. It's a very, very cool experience, of course, driving around on one of these. You don't realise just how much it's moving around until you happen to slightly catch a glimpse of either the floor or a wall, and you realise quite at what wonky angle you are. If you're like focused on the TVs, it's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, these things are pretty bloody cool, to say the least. The thing that I'm kind of most impressed about it, yeah, sure, the bumps, the jumping around and so on, that was cool, but it was when you were inadvertently sliding the vehicles around and that kind of thing, it felt as you almost expected an oversteering vehicle to feel. Yeah, I mean, if you ever get a chance to have a go on one of these, they are absolutely incredible. Not sure I'd have the space for one, even if I could afford one in my office. But, yeah, they are certainly. I'm not sure you want to drive everything like this. It's sometimes a bit distracting, the being throwing around, detracting slightly from the actual driving and whatnot. But, yeah, was a very, very cool thing. The next day, though, would be our first chance to have a go with the actual Raptor. Well, I'm hoping the microphone quality is good here. We are in a Ford Ranger Raptor. It's quite a different environment. It's a long time since I've had to ever step up into a car rather than pretty much fall into the vehicles as I am used to, but so far so good. I have flappy paddle gears going on here. I mean, it's going to be an auto, but flappy paddle gears. It's a nice comfy place to be. First good test is we are currently in a not wide car park, and there's a whole selection of these that we've got to try and figure out a way to navigate out. That's going to be a test of the turning circle. That will be a test of the turning circle. Fingers crossed everything should go good. We're going to be driving this. We're driving this from Cologne, and we're going to be heading along to the Offroad driving centre. So we get a test of it in a sensible world environment and a test of it in a go just about anywhere sort of environment. Very much looking forward to it, seeing what this vehicle is capable of. Well, so far we have driven the Raptor through Cologne a little bit. It is actually, it's no more difficult to drive than anything else. It is big, and there's something you need to bear in mind. It is quite wide. You're kind of sitting here, apart from being very high up, which is weird, you're sitting here and it feels like a car. You sit in here and it feels no different to anything else that I might have driven. And then you've got to bear in mind that it is, yeah, quite a large vehicle. I didn't curb it. That's good. I mean, it can deal with that. It is certainly going to be able to climb over if you did. But yeah, it's a nice place to be. We're now sat on the motorway, and that is, I mean, is it a dual carriageway? That is, yeah, dual carriageway. Like, it's perfectly comfortable, it's perfectly happy. Sat at 80 kilometers an hour down this particular part, whatever that is in miles. It's perfectly happy to be doing those sorts of speed in, yeah, plenty of comfort. So far, a nice place to be, a nice enough vehicle to drive. Nice sat-nav system, gives you a nice, I'm so used to using straightforward, just Google Maps the lot. This one will like zoom in, show you where you need to go on the junctions, which is helpful when you're driving in a country you've never driven before and not quite sure what their road network is going to be like. I mean, sure, the Germans will be very good, but yeah, so far impressed. So far impressed with the truck. So before we went out on an off-road course proper, we were given a little testing area to get a brief experience of just what we were going to be going up against.
Articulation section, yeah, you feel how great EDS, electrician differential lock, works without a mechanical.
I feel like I'm going to roll a car today.
The distance between the cars, maybe 2 car lengths or nothing, yes? Okay, drive one more time, please. One more time for yourself.
That is one of the most nerve-wracking things I've done in a car. It's amazing that he can do that. I drove it down the motorway here and it felt perfectly at home, and now I've just gone through a massive dip and it's fine. That felt like I was going to fall over, I'm not going to lie. That genuinely felt like I was going to tip over. Trucks, absolutely fine with it. No problem at all. Right, we're going for the rollers. Again, I'm kind of looking forward. I don't know. I'm just watching the car ahead of me go through this. It is. I mean, it's incredible. It really is. I've never driven an off-road vehicle. Oh, I set off the traction control again. That is.
Yes, the first car can follow the old rover.
That really feels like that's going to tip over. That is just incredible. I'm sure the truck's way more capable than I am. I'm sat here going, oh crap, I have no doubt this is way more capable than I am here. I'm probably going to be looking terribly gormless in just about every single shot we have inside the car as we are busy trying not to do something stupid. It's basically like we're doing currently, as you will see hopefully from the forward-facing camera, we are currently just going down. I mean, it's it's an incredible little country road, and I'm in perfect comfort in this. Like, I've got the aircon going, it's just about right. We're going down here and everything is good, everything is fine. There's a bridge even, we could do some tunnel blasting, probably not a good idea, because who knows what horribleness will be out the other side. Okay, maybe a little bit. I didn't really put my foot down through there because I didn't know what we were going to come up against, of course. It's this vehicle powered by a 2-litre twin turbocharged diesel engine. It's not, I'd say it's not immensely powerful, it's 200 odd horsepower. You're talking about 400-500 torque going on. So, I mean, the power figures aren't crazy, but it can certainly shift along quite nicely, and it can pull whatever, carry whatever you might need. And when there's a steep hill, admittedly we've gone down one, only need gravity for that one. When we come to go up a hill, it doesn't have a problem with that either. The gearbox in this, we currently have it in 4-wheel drive, high range at the moment. Low range is for when you're really completely stuck somewhere. It's a 10-speed gearbox in this, which means there's just about a gear for every occasion. Only downside I found with it is when sat on the motorway, sometimes it can't make up its mind what it wants to be doing.
Follow straight ahead.
It'll jump between gears a little bit. We are now coming to a hill.
On the gas, please.
Here we go. We are coming to the first big off-road climb, where we are going to not want to get stuck. We're going to give the trucks ahead a little bit of a little bit of space so that we can keep our foot down. I'm not an experienced off-road driver personally, so you just got to keep going. You don't want to lose momentum. That's what I remember from off-road driving. I'm looking on my gauge cluster in front of us. We have a like angle thing. I don't know what proper terminology is for it. I have 10 degrees of backwards tilt and 4 degrees of sideways tilt. 5 degrees. There's a new game in this that seems like a silly game to be playing, of how far can you get it. I'm not going to do that. I should have looked when we were doing the rollers in the little test area, but I didn't. Finally, I was busy trying not to crap myself and roll the truck, it felt so much like the truck was going to roll. Like here, I mean, here we are, absolutely fine, just barreling our way up this little path. I have lost sight of the trucks ahead. That's fine, there they are, just about to see the brake lights. It's just more than happy to go. It will just... I feel like I could point it in any direction I wanted, and I'd probably still get there absolutely fine. I mean, maybe not through a tree, but otherwise I feel like it would be absolutely okay with it. I am enjoying off-road driving, I'm going to say. I'm enjoying off-road driving. I'm so used to driving around countryside in silly cars that are far too low for the roads around where I live, and you're panicking about every little bump. And then we're in this. I'm really not. I mean, I'm being careful, of course, but I'm really not worried about a small bump somewhere.
We reach the next optic ahead, close to the window on the right.
I'm just watching the truck ahead as it's twisting around in the air. They've got a mirror set up so you can actually see what it's doing here. It is fantastically bonkers as it tries to figure out where on earth it's going to get power from. Come on. I actually got myself a little bit stuck as it figures out where it's going to go, and down we go. It's that spinning the wheel a little bit up in the air, and then it just, like, the electronic systems figure out where it needs to send the power, and then you get out the other side, no problem at all.
And after the downhill,
It also wasn't too long before I found the gauge that told you the tilt angle of the truck, and naturally had my own little mini game going on.
uphill.
It's really, really weird letting the car do everything. We've got an 20 degrees! It's a new personal. I want to get 21. That is the personal goal here. Can we get to 21 degrees of going downhill? Oh, possibly. We'll let the car do its thing as we go through here. Oh. Well, this looks like
Drive 2 times right.
a horribly nasty. We're about to do the crazy fall over, crap yourself moments.
Always follow the black gravel. You see the big gravel on the way. That's the right way. 3
That
times right.
is really, really far up in the air. Well, it feels ridiculous. However, the truck is more than happy. In many ways, that one there is kind of worse when it dips away on my side of the car. Oh, there we go. Off the little roller bits we go, and that is us across. So while we have a little bit of sitting and waiting time, one of the like minor features, but I really like, is you're probably not actually quite be able to see this, which is a little bit of a pain. In the drinks holder, they've got like these little plastic, I don't know what to call them, but these little sort of plastic levers, so it will go to the size of whatever you're using. So this water bottle, for example, that's smaller than perhaps a coffee cup or whatever, fits in there absolutely fine, which is really quite neat. I think we are now heading off, but it's a little thing, but it's stuff like that is it's quite nice. It makes a vehicle like this easy to use on a more everyday basis. And it means that when you're prattling around off-road, you're not worried about, say you're prattling around, if you are going off-road, you're not worried about stuff smacking around and potentially falling over inside there. Little touches are nice.
Very well.
So while we were heading around this off-road trail at one of the halts, I decided to swap over GoPro batteries. It turned out when I restarted the camera, however, it wanted to play funny buggers. So for the latter part of this, the camera looking out was recording funny. I'm still not 100% sure quite why.
Right, we are currently playing around with, they call it the watering hole here. There's just a kind of big puddle, essentially, that we go through. Slightly disconcerting when you have the the truck head's gone for it. It's slightly disconcerting when you have that sound of the water sloshing around, but you know, this is more than capable of dealing with just about whatever you might. I say whatever, I'm sure there is a wading limit. However, as someone who very nearly drowned a Clio once, that is far deeper than I nearly drowned a Clio in, and yeah, it's perfectly happy through that. Most of your normal activities, shall we say, will be covered with this. I mean, it's only when going gets insanely difficult. I mean, this is, as you have seen from the outside footage, I don't think I have ever had call for a vehicle that needs to be able to do this. If you do, amazing. I have, yeah, absolutely never had need of a vehicle that is capable of this kind of terrain, and this is tackling it with ease. At no point has it even felt remotely close to being in trouble.
Bumpy road, uphill.
It is, yeah, it's remarkably comfortable to be in, remarkably easy to drive when you need it to be. In normal situations, you know, around cities, on the motorway, it's perfectly fine. And then when you get out here, it is still just as comfy while tackling these kind of ascents, descents, the odd horrible, I don't know what to call them, bumpy bits. We'll give them a technical name right there.
Having completed the off-road trails, we stopped for a spot of lunch and then were given a field. Put the trucks in two-wheel drive in Baja mode to have quite a lot of fun with them.
Right, we're kind of on the quest for finding some sort of jump. We want to try and get some airtime with this because we weren't really finding it on the actual kind of rundown. It's, yeah, it's not quite the airtime. There we go. There's a bump. It wasn't really a full-on jump down there. It's just the ease at which these things are able to just fly around, and they just do not care one little bit. I wonder if we could do, I have a silly idea. Right, so we are lining up for what I think is going to be a jump. I've got a camera truck behind me ready to film this as we go for it and see what happens. We're going to be picking up some speed now and giving it the beans. Here we go. We're going to see how far, how high even, we can get this in the air. Oh! That was... that was definitely all wheels off the ground. That is the first time I've actually properly jumped a car. I hope that was on the camera. All right, in our quest for getting more and more airtime with the vehicles, we have actually going to try a slightly different jump. We're going to go for a nice sensible approach. We're going to get a run up, put foot down and go for it. See if we can get some big airtime off of this one here. Yeah, that was some big airtime. That was... I hope the footage of that looks good. Man, that's... I mean, we are checking these trucks around and we've just got a field, and that was a bigger jump than I was expecting that one to be. I wasn't quite prepared for that.
You went so high.
That was really big.
I didn't get that high. I might have another go. You flipped. I've got that.
That was a jump and a half right there. Christ. just noticed, I'm not sure how long the interior GoPro has been at a slight wonk. I've tried to fix it quickly while we're setting up for me being the camera car here. Whether it's going to work or not, I don't know. If it's a bit wonky, then sorry about that, Tom. We're going for this amazing, I say it's amazing jump, we're going for this run up now. Let's see. Oh, I get a little bit too much wheel spin, that's not ideal. Here we go. Way! They are up and over. The camera gear is, I've got stuff loose in the passenger seat, it shouldn't probably be there. Yeah, that's a jump right there.
I didn't think I was ever going to land.
Here we go, time for some more airtime. Oh. So we are going to do a little bit of a race, a little more than just a straightforward drag race. We are starting at a point, we're going to go up to there's a little sort of bush in the field you can just about see in the distance, and then we will come back down and around alongside some of the posts that are with us. There can be, I think, 3 of us doing this, and it should be quite entertaining. Right. We are on the makeshift field grid. There is going to be a countdown of horns. On the 3rd horn, we are going to be off and underway. Here we go. The race is on. Now, we're starting this on a hill, which means we're just going to get wheel spin. Here we go. The Italian truck is off into the lead. I'm side by side with Tom here. We are actually going to get to the inside of everybody here, up towards the little roundabout part. Now, it's very bumpy on the way into this. Is Tom going to take a wide line? Yes, he is. We're going to sweep around the inside part. It's very, very bumpy as we go down the hill. One of the trucks has stopped. We are heading back. It is currently quite close between the pair of us. We are going to jump on the brake. See, we're taking the tight line. Oh, I think we have to go. I think we are having to head towards the end of this. I think we won the first lap. However, it was only a 1 lap. I think only a 1 lap. I think we have got to head back now. So, are we going again? We are apparently going again. Sure. Can we make a pass for the... Oh, that's a little bit too much of the oversteer there. This is good fun. This is very, very good fun. And the truck is absolutely more than happy to do this. We're going to go side by side towards the finish line. It's around the post, and it's the first one across the finish line. I think we're going to hold Tom out wide. It's across the line. We got it. We did it. We won. We won the race. Even with a little confusion there when the radio went off, that was...
Well done!
That was a good race!
Well done! Bastard!
Yeah, hug the inside, that worked! So, a conclusion time for all of this. Well, I'm impressed. I am very impressed with this truck. It can do the normal city driving. We're back on the motorway now heading towards Cologne. We can do the normal city driving. We can do the motorway driving in plenty of comfort. And then when you need to go down an incredibly narrow, bumpy forest trail, yeah, it can do that. And if you happen to have a field that you might fancy throwing an off-road vehicle around, yeah, you can do that as well. You can get some quite impressive, it felt quite impressive airtime. So, I don't know whether the camera footage is going to do it justice. Felt impressive airtime. So, yeah, it's remarkably capable. I mean, it's all of this. You can do all the off-roading thing, all the off-road messing around, and it's still in the same comfort that it is for normal driving. It's just a pleasant place to be. I mean, of course, I'd like a little bit more power. However, that's not quite the full point of this one. There's more than enough power when you have it in rear-wheel drive mode and turn the traction control off to have some leery fun with it when you're on the dirt. Yeah, it's just a very, very nice vehicle. In all honesty, could I see myself buying one of these? Probably not, certainly not at the moment. While it is immense fun, you won't be using it for that purpose for 99% of the time. On the very off chance that you might have a field that you can access, brilliant. If not, then yeah, you are just not going to be using a lot of that potential, really. But if it is something, if you need a vehicle that's very capable to go off-road, if you need a vehicle that can tackle some pretty nasty terrain and still be good fun to drive, still be very comfortable, and then still be able to have quite a lot of fun with, it is very, very good at that. So I can certainly see the appeal of this vehicle. We've had an absolute riot today, honestly. It's been some of the most fun I've had with a car, full stop, has been blasting around a field with this, sort of testing what we could get it to do. And yeah, it's kept going. So I really like it. I do really like it. As I said, for most of us, you probably would never use the vast majority of the capabilities of something like this, but it is nice to know that if for whatever reason you ever do need to, it's really, really rather good. That, though, is going to be it for this video. I thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.